So we are one day out to the Granite and we're 8 days to the PC Scottish. So the peak has started essentially. Yeah, so peaking started pretty much yesterday. I was still on my baseline food on Thursday, today being Saturday. I just had no cardio, which was quite nice. Gave the legs a bit of a rest. Ironically, because I had no cardio and we were resting a bit, I felt more tired at night. I find like when I'm depleting, it's easier than when you're having like a refeed or a high day and then you come back up to come back down. I personally prefer just staying down and getting to it when your energy. Your energy is somewhat more consistent. Well, here's a mess. Anyway, so weight over to Brad. 89.9 this morning, 89.8 sorry this morning, so off whatever the fuck 100 grams is overnight. I feel drier than Gandhi Sandal for what it's worth, which is a good thing. This is the driest my legs have ever looked, ever, by a mile, particularly my glutes. But there's that sharpness coming through now with my glutes, which is only going to get better throughout the day as all the carbs go in, which is exciting. Felt a little bit stressy and nervous last night, just things kind of getting on top of me. It's really been the first time the whole prep that I've kind of let myself feel anything or think about anything, and I just so good couple puffs of that weed vape done the trick. Something in the past I would have kind of like stuck my nose up at and kind of looked down on it, but now that I've used weed and stuff like that pretty much the last off season to manage my stress, it's a fucking game changer. The amount of bodybuilders I know that are stress heads and getting ahead about things, it's frightening. Having that little thing that you can just rely on to like take some stress off is a huge win. It's a huge game changer in my opinion. So today we're doing just under 700 grams of carb across the day. It's not a lot of food. It's just enough to get me filled out for tomorrow. I've got another peak, so the plan is to be blasting full for the PCA. I've been told by PCA judges before they like it when I'm full, so that's what we're doing. But the Granite, I know those guys are wacky for conditions, so that's the plan. Nice dry, crisp look for the Granite, nice big burst and fill for the PCA, so we'll be two significantly different peaks. And then obviously there's more shows planned, but I'm not letting myself think about that until these first two are done. Nothing major changes with the high day either. It's all the food I've been eating. The only significant change probably is the very little veg I plan to eat today. I did it in the last peak back in 2023 and I was eating a lot of veg because I was on dust, and throughout that peak week I just slowly, incrementally pulled all the fibre right down across the week, and it's pulled my waist right in. And I've done the same this week. So yesterday I think I had maybe 200 grams of edge over the day, whereas like a week ago on my baseline days, I think I was doing roughly about 4 meals a day with veg, all of them being 100 grams, 150 to 200 grams, so anywhere between 600 to 800 grams of veg. So slowly bring that down to, I think I had 150 yesterday. It was a drastic change for that. And then had a peppermint tea before bed, which helped move everything, so I woke up and my stomach feels hollow. So I'm ready for the refeed. So, not long got to the Airbnb, going like an hour and a half ago. So this is my 5th carb meal of the day, which is my pre-workout meal, which is just rice pudding, some whey, some nut butter and some dates. Which is fantastic. About to go do pretty much the last little pump session. Can't see me training longer than 45 minutes. Every session this week I've done, I've not been in the gym longer than 45 minutes. So I have an idea of what I'm going to do. Set wise, just jump into one of the kind of like commercial 24-hour gyms, Snap Fitness. I would have liked to go to Warehouse, just because it is like the gym that everyone goes to when they're here, but I know it'll be busy. Whether it's busy with people I know that are spectating, or people I know that are competing. I don't really want to be around that for my last session. I just want to get in, get out. Because then I have got to get to Warehouse for 8 to get 10. So not short on time, but got to be conscious of it. Pretty much just chilled since getting in, just fucking about my phone. Watching Troy with the missus. Yeah, pretty smooth journey on the way up, I'd say. I just stopped twice to pee, nothing mental. I've got another like litre and a bit to get in of water. Brad wants me taking roughly around 5 litres a day, 5 litres today. Just to help everything kind of keep the carbs moving and flushing. Obviously there's water within a lot of the food I've eaten today, because I've had 2 meals of rice pudding, and then oats. So once we pull back a bit tomorrow, I'd expect a very dry and tight look. But yeah, the rice pudding I'm doing at home, it's just the ESN stuff. I've previously done cream rice, but there's a few times I had my cream rice, I got a bit of reflux. I was just like, fuck this. Got rice pudding on Big Adam's recommendation. Obviously there's a lot less sweeteners in it. So in my head it makes sense, because obviously when you go into peak week, you're kind of pulling back on artificial sweeteners and everything, so it doesn't make much sense to then carb up on something that's ram-packed of artificial sweeteners. Obviously there's protein powder in that, but there's 20 to 30 grams, versus if I was doing 100 grams of rice pudding, or cream rice, there's going to be a whole hell of a lot more artificial sweeteners. So yeah, feeling good, feeling full. There's no real good place to do photos with where we're staying, but I've got like a wee spotlight thing I can use. Yeah, chuffed. Change of plan, Snap Fitness are dicks. Their website is deceiving. It said free trial, applied for it, didn't get nothing. So we're at Pure Gym, gonna rattle out a quick pump session and try to do photos somewhere without getting told off, because when I used to train at Pure Gyms, they'd always tell me off for stripping. So, buzzing. So, off to get tanned. I'm probably going to be early. It's down to Missy because I have the timing of a potato. So, one more meal to have, which is the Five Guys, and it's like less than a litre of water to drink, and then that's it. Sent Brad the video from training. Pure Gym was kind of exactly what you'd expect it to be. It's annoyingly very warm, so I actually sweat quite a bit. Like I sweat a lot more than I did when I trained legs last Sunday after doing the high day last week. So it shows how fucking warm that gym was. But yeah, once I'm tanned, have my burger and chips, and then chill the fuck out and go to bed. I have been puffing on my weed vape. I had to give it to Romana because I was getting too like reliant on it. But I was just yapping to her about how, I guess, beneficial using that has been. Because I am an overthinker and a stressor. Brad told me to shut up earlier because I asked him too many questions. So definitely calm my brain. That and chill with my feet up, watching Troy. So aye. So I am now attempt 2. I'm a now lovely chocolate man. It's the best part of an hour. Getting the tanning done. Steph, I will say, is a fantastic tanner. Obviously in the past I've had issues, so she gave it more time, making sure everything was covered and dried and done. I've preferred being more pale in the past, just throughout the prep. I think it looks cooler, but sadly that's not going to get any wins, is it? So now a lovely chocolate man, and got Five Guys to eat, so we're ordering that now to pick it up on the way back to the apartment. I'll scran that, have my last bit of water, a couple puffs of weed vape, chill out with some Netflix, and then it's bed. Then it's show day. Done.
Go.
is show day. I got up about 30 minutes ago. And I will have to pee about 20 to 25 minutes before my alarm. So I kind of just sat up and dozed until my alarm went off. So I've got another meal rice pudding, which I'm going to have now. Got a bit more fruit to have. And then I'm going to go get tanned sooner than I wanted because I sweat quite a bit last night. I'm not pale. I've not sweat all my tan off. I've done my other day and looked, and I'm still very much quite dark. I just want it touched up sooner than later. So I'm not rushing, just in case I do need a bit of a thicker coat. I can get done. So, I'm gonna wait for Manna, let her get set while I eat this, and then sort my bag out, sort another meal out between my class and overall. Double check I've got everything food wise, and then get to my brain off for the day. So, just rocking up to the venue now. I've had my one meal and it's showtime pretty much. Go. So while Romana's outside doing the washing and sorting some bits, I'll finish up this wee show day weekend vlog thing. I'll try to tidy up my desk a bit. Anyway, so we got the class win, which I'm buzzing about, and it's the first time I feel like I've been truly peaked to perfection on stage, and by a mile it was the best I've ever been on stage, so I cannot complain about that. The only thing I am a bit bummed about, as anyone would be, is I didn't get the overall, but that sadly is just the case with bodybuilding being a subjective sport. I wasn't what they wanted on the day, is what it is. I could piss and moan about it, but not going to change anything. It's not the first time I've lost, won't be the last time. But taking away a lot of, fucking hate using the word data because you sound like one of the science bros, but taking away a lot of good data from the weekend, I feel fresher from it. Obviously with going into last week's peak, I was carrying some fatigue and tired because we've just had to pull me right down, like from pretty much 2.5 weeks out to that last high day. When I was 8 days out, I was gunning it. It's the first time that this whole prep I've had to feel like I was suffering. But now that I'm feeling fresh, we've had some food over the weekend, let my body rest from cardio and stuff, I am feeling full beans. So that won't last long, I'm very aware of that. But it means I can kind of, the next 3 days of training, I can kind of sink my teeth into them and pull some water off, get a wee bit more fat off before we have to pull back, deplete, and then fill back up. Simply because of the way my brain works. I've been toying around with like what I want to do in the off season training wise. So today, tomorrow, and Wednesday is a good run of that program. It won't be quite knuckling it like I want to, but I'll be able to run the session pretty much exactly how I want to, because the volume's not going to change much. It might be a little bit less sets, but the movements will stay the same. So it gives me essentially just time to run that. And then kind of feel the session out. So yeah, show 1 of the season done. On to the next one.